I've heard a rumor that Allentown West has a 5th point in the 4-way test. Would you care to tell people what it is?
Is it fun?
The guest of Jeff McElhenney is Brad Knapp.
Brad joined me 6 months ago, and he's going to open his office in McCundy next year. So welcome, Brad.
And a guest of Pete Roberts is William Godflow, and he's with One America.
Thank you.
And I have 2 Mavericks at my table. They'll be formally introduced for the program.
Great, thank you, Lexa. Okay, just a reminder to all board members, there is a board meeting immediately following the breakfast meeting this morning, so just don't get out of here too quickly, we've got some work to do. The district conference is this weekend, and several of us are going. I am doing a carpool for those who are going to go on Saturday. So Jim Ritter has already agreed to be the person in the passenger seat. He's going to close his eyes most of the way, I think. But there's space for 2 more people. And we're going to go in time. We're going to leave this parking lot out here at Brookside at 7:30. We'll return after the dinner. So if anybody else would like to ride with us, let us know. Let me know, and we can meet you here on Saturday. Just would appreciate a heads up so I don't leave without you. Many of you know that one of the presidential goals this year by Ian Risley was that every Rotary Club plant a tree for every member by Earth Day. We didn't quite make that deadline this year. we had several different attempts. We tried to work with a number of different county park systems, McCundy Municipal Park. For a variety of reasons, we didn't quite get there. I think we've planted so far in the 30-ish range of trees. However, in working with Bartlett Tree Company, the company that Gary's affiliated with now, they were kind enough to donate brandywine maple seedlings. So these are fairly no-fuss trees. They don't drop acorns. They don't have gumballs. They just turn brilliant red in the fall. So today's like Oprah. Everybody gets a tree. They're on the table outside, so when you leave today, please take at least one and find a place to plant it. That way we're all going to take part in this project. Whatever's left over, we're going to have as giveaways at next Tuesday's Lower McCungy Community Days. So the folks who are manning the table between 4 and 8 o'clock at the Lower McCungy Town Center will give away those trees. But let's everybody take at least one. Can you commit to do that for me, please?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary, for shovel. You want to give them some care instructions?
No, they're very easy to care for. They each have a little tag on and everything. No, my, lost my train of thought. Oh, God.
Talk about Boca Run. You want to mention Boca Run?
Yeah. No, it's best to plant them in a place that'll get full sun. Oh, I know why. They'll grow, their mature height, if they grow to maturity, is about 60 foot. So, just keep that in mind. It grows to be a fairly decent shade. And as Bert mentioned, the leaves turn a bright red color in the fall. It's a very, very pretty tree. So, too much shade. Help yourselves then. Yep.
Thank you. Sure. And by the way, they should go in the ground relatively soon. If you can't get them in the ground right away, at least spritz the leaves once every 2 or 3 days until you can get them planted. Okay? That's the care instructions I've been providing.
Yep. Very good. Thanks.
Gary Guthrie, do you have a couple of announcements?
I do. It's getting to be that time of year again where you guys unfortunately have to hear from me often. Canals House cleanup. We're looking to do some cleanup May 5th. It's scheduled right now 10 to 12. We'll see. I would like to be that to be earlier, but I'm not setting this up. Gene Clock is. So it shouldn't be really that difficult. It's raking the ground up so they can put a tent up for a celebration they're having the following weekend. So need some help with that. I'll send out an email. Tomorrow, we donated 2 trees to the Emmaus Triangle. We will be doing kind of a We'll be doing kind of a ceremony for Arbor Day, taking pictures. So it's going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the Triangle. So as many Rotarians can come out for a quick photo. We're going to be in the East Penn Press, kind of promote us, that kind of thing. So I would appreciate all of that. I plan on being there as of right now. And then also, it's a little far, these two are far out, but you might want to mark your calendar. So you remember we do the Emmaus Remembrance Garden to go trim the roses, clean up. That is scheduled for July 14th. So just kind of mark your calendars, and never forget Wheels of Time, our favorite thing, breakfast is August 24th, 25th, and 26th. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Bryce, you have an announcement.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Just a reminder, next Saturday, May 5th, we're doing the Kentucky Derby event at the Lower Macungie Township Building. Friendship exchange students are going to be there. The menu is being finalized. It's BYOB, but we'll supply all the soft drinks. The race will be shown. What else am I missing, Don? Anything?
Desserts.
Oh, desserts. We have some volunteers. I think there's 5 or 6 different homemade desserts being made and brought. So it starts at 5, goes till 7:30ish. You stay till 8, you're gonna be stuck helping me clean up. And yeah, should be a good event. Bring lots of bourbon, have a good time, take an Uber home, and you should be good.
The bourbon's already covered. If you don't like bourbon and mint juleps, you want to bring something else.
Correct.
Was that a little bit over?
Indirect sales
See you, dogs.
Earl Associates is sponsoring mint juleps.
Anything else about it? Any questions about it?
Just tell Bryce you're coming.
Yeah, we need a head count.
Yeah.
Starts at 5. I'll send out a couple more emails, and then it'll be in the newsletter. And next Thursday I'll do one more announcement. But it should be a good event. We should have a pretty good attendance. So looking forward to it.
Sal.
Real quick, just a reminder, as part of our class project, we're collecting some needy items for a turning point. There's a box outside, we'll keep it out there the next couple of weeks until our project's complete, so if you can help us out. If you need a list to take home, it's in the trumpet, thanks to Alexa. I have a list here, glad to take one with you if you like. Thank you.
Jeff.
One of the things we supported this year was personalized books given to kids. So we give thousands of books to schools, and then they go in and put their picture, their name, the teacher's name. And we've got a bunch of handwritten thank you notes. I just thought I'd share that. I won't read them, but it was nice to get that. It's always nice to receive a handwritten letter from that group here in Roosevelt Elementary. Just a reminder. Yeah.
Thank you. Ralph, did I see your hand up?
Yes. Just want to remind everybody, next week is first of the month, and we'll be collecting food for the Emmaus food bank. I won't be here, but Lexa has offered to get the food down to the food bank after you bring it. But please remember to bring food for the needy, and it's much appreciated by them when we collect it on a monthly basis. Thank you.
Joe?
The Friends of the Emmaus Library are having their annual book sale this year. It's Friday from 6 to 8 and Saturday from 7 to 4. So if you're a book reader, come to the sale. All of the proceeds go to the Emmaus Public Library, and you can get books that are sell for $30, $20, for $3 thereabouts. So it's a good deal. So come. It's at the Lower Macungie Middle School on Lower Macungie Road in Lower Macungie.
Thank you, Joe. Bill, is that in Lower Macungie?
Good morning. Since I wasn't here last week, I just wanted to once again remind people about goals and the Rotary Foundation. We're in the home stretch now. This is the 4th quarter of the Rotary year, so for those that have not stepped up, step up. I will say that if anybody notices the stickers aren't updated, I'm going to be doing that this morning. There's a couple I'm missing. So, but as I said before, the stickers will let you know whether or not you're in the E-ray, or what we'll call the E-ray and steroids, which is the higher amount. So we appreciate your support.
Mark, do you have this?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not gonna ask anybody for anything. I just wanna thank folks who have already come forward to be sponsors or purchase tickets or sign up on this thing that's been passed around. And those that, have gone to pokerrun.emmausrotary.org and signed up for the event that day. Thank you.
One more plug for the District Training Assembly. Sharon Rittenhouse sent out an email yesterday, I think it was. It has the whole agenda, the link for registering. It's on May 12th at DeSales. Runs from about 8 in the morning to just after lunch. And if you want to stay for district grant training, that runs from 1 to 3. But several of us will be going. We'll probably be carpooling for those who have an interest, but mark your calendars for that, May 12th. A couple of other things I just wanted to make you aware of. Next week, the Swedish Friendship, the Rotary Friendship Exchange team from Sweden will be here, and they will be our program. We usually have a packed house for that, so we've asked the folks at Brookside to set a few more tables and make sure there's plenty to eat. But a lot of you, I know, like to invite your spouses or friends. They'll be delivering their presentation, introducing themselves and talking about their country and their district. So you won't want to miss that. I had the privilege of meeting 4 of the 6 couples who will be here when we were on the outbound part of the exchange last year. So they're terrific people. I'm sure you will enjoy meeting them. Then I have a couple of other reminders and one sad note. One, May 4th, next week, after the Swedes finish their presentation, we will be doing the brick installation at the Emmaus Remembrance Garden for Larry Wingard. So for those of you who can spare a few minutes after that, we usually gather about 9 o'clock. It's usually a very short but memorable time together. Jeannie will be there. She's actually going to attend our meeting next week. And thank you, Bob, for coordinating all of that. So that's next Thursday. And then I have the sad duty to inform you that one of our honorary members, Carl Gingrich, passed away last night. Don Seagraves made me aware of that this morning. I looked real quickly online. There's no obituary or funeral that's published yet, but I'll share that with the club when I'm aware of what they are. And we'll do our normal thing when we gather together and come in. Roger, do you have a comment?
I saw Carl about 4 days ago, and he was at peace and without pain.
Thank you. Okay, are there any other announcements? Jeff, do you want to do the raffle?
All right. Get your tickets out. Right, I want to pull the first ticket here. Got it. Last 4 digits, 8927. 927. Okay.
Come on, Jeff.
Come on, train.
Brad.
Boo.
Pick another ticket. Let's go with 926. 8926. Somebody, yeah.
Are these last week's tickets?
I think we should start a new thing, that if the first one isn't claimed, the prize rolls is over to the next one.
And this is going to be compounded. This will be $30 for the next one.
How's that?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's a fair rule.
Call my number. Call my number.
I was given the basket here. 8934.
9.
You're getting closer. I think it's 936.
I'm just going to keep going. 947. I got 947. Is that fair?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Keep it moving.
You're definitely coming back, right? Okay, Don, you ready for the Sergeant at Arms?
I guess I am. A couple of people were late. Joe, well, actually, Chris Wells was late, but I'm sure it was because he was actually finding his pin that he actually wears today.
Thanks, Dale.
All those years of training, Dale, they finally paying off.
A couple people leaving early. I received money from Dee and Oh, yeah, you're both signed in this week, right? We don't have to worry about who signed in, Gary, right? You and your wife are both here? All right.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about what happened.
No, we're good, we're good.
All right, and I also want to point out, somebody gave me a picture, Larry. It's actually a color picture of you and your wife. So how much can I charge him for that, Dale? No limit. No limit. Well, you probably have to. Right. Well, I was
Yeah,
figuring
but that's
out.
for one person.
Yeah,
You're gonna select your wife over that?
yeah, unbelievable. And who brought you here? You're just visiting Rotarian, okay? Well, see, the tough part is, I don't know who she is because she doesn't have a name badge on. So I don't know if I find the table for not letting her put a name badge on, or if I find the people she's sitting next to that didn't remind her, or if I just...
That's why you're the executive.
That's why I'm the executive. You owe it. I mean, you know, we went through this undocumented guest before. Now we have people here that don't have name badges on. It's just ridiculous. All right, I'll go to Happy Dollars. Anybody have any Happy Dollars? We'll go to Bryce first.
Okay. All right, I have $5 tomorrow, my wife and I close on our new home. We're putting on our big boy and big girl pants and upgrading from a townhome to a single-family home. So those trees actually come at a perfect time because literally the house I'm buying has zero landscape. My ground foundation. So
Bryce, you need 50 trees, right?
So I'll take 50 of the trees. I need 50 people to dig holes. Starting tomorrow at like 11:30, I should legally be able to do that. And also just shout out to Steve. He did a great job. He was my realtor and just did a bang-up job the last few months for me. So $5 happy for all that.
Okay, I have a happy dollar. Actually, it's Gary Guthrie had suggested the fact that we were carrying a couple of bags of seedlings to his car for John Shishka to take to the Macungie event. And he had suggested, for those of you who do take the seedlings today, which I hope everybody takes at least one, when you plant them, if you could have someone take a photo of them, then Gary's idea is we could put it on our Emmaus Rotary Club website. That's a project we're doing. Okay. Plus, I'm also happy that Dee, Cindy, and I are going to pick up this Swedish exchange group. But I'm sad that we have to leave early, and I'm going to miss the four-way test speaker because I always enjoy that very much. Thank you.
I have $5. First, I have to leave early, and I told him, and he forgot. Now, isn't that a match? And my badge is still by my computer someplace. And I just want to give a heartfelt thank you. It just shows the good friends we have at Rotary. My husband's home, but just for a short period of time to gain strength, and then he'll be having open heart surgery May 9th. So keep your prayers coming. All the texts and everything were very, very much appreciated.
Bob.
As you know, I'm still collecting beer can tabs, Coke can tabs, and we have one member who, I don't know if they drink this much Coke in a week, but about every other week he brings me a bag like this, so I appreciate it if you would save your can, because I'm sure most people drink more than 4 or 5 cans a week. So thank you very much to an anonymous person. We appreciate your help.
That's my beer can.
Yeah, I missed all the fun next week. I'm heading to Playa Mujeres, Mexico.
Oh, too bad.
I've got $5 happy for June the 5th. My wife and I are going down to the University of Pennsylvania to meet with a pulmonologist transplant team so that I can get started in the process for a bilateral lung transplant.
My brother came home from Afghanistan. He spent about a week with me. So I'm just happy. We got to spend time with him.
All happy to be going to the Iron Pigs game this Sunday. They're playing Scranton, and our company is sponsoring the Autism Awareness Day. So I have $2 happy, and I also have 8 extra tickets if anybody is interested. So I have eight free tickets. So just come see me if you're interested.
All right, I got 2 fine dollars. But I got 3 happy dollars. If you're not tired from planting the trees, I got 4 more trees at home that need to be planted. and I got 10 acres over in Maxatawny Township. So if you need space to plant them, let me know.
Dave.
So here's $2 of belated fine. My guest showed up last week and I wasn't here. And then I showed up this week and he's not here. What can I tell you?
Communication works. Any more? All yours.
Okay, thank you, Don. Here you go, Cindy. Our story begins this morning with 2 Rotarians who have just received information about the upcoming Rotary District Conference in 2019 in Allentown.
Can you hear me breathe? Did you see this? The Rotary District Conference for next year is going to be held in Allentown at the Renaissance Hotel. Have you ever been to a district conference?
Why?
Why not? The district conference is a place where you get to see what other Rotary clubs in our district are doing. Isn't that worth knowing?
Why would I go to this conference? I can get information online. Go on YouTube. Look at my computer. Read my Rotary magazine.
Why don't you unplug yourself and get out of your box? You've forgotten the old school networking where you get to know people face to face and build relationships, person to person. It's called IRL, in real life.
I go to regular meetings.
Why not try to go to the conference and learn new ideas and share space with someone who may become your mentor or a new customer or probably maybe even a prospect or a provider? Now wait, I'm not finished yet. If you don't go, you miss that opportunity, and some opportunities never happen online or even at your own club.
I didn't join Rotary to make business deals or take comments from a guy like that.
And why not? There are Rotary leaders and there are business leaders who appreciate and who are interested in local and global projects just like we are. And by the way, why did you join Rotary?
I joined Rotary to become part of the biggest service organization in the world, funded by an international foundation.
And why not? That's great. That's what, now take it to the district level. You'll be able to learn about new projects, bigger projects, and absorb the energy of like-minded people.
Sounds good. Well, why can't you go and let me know about it? Besides, I can't afford a weekend away from my family. We're saving for a vacation this summer.
Why not think of yourself? Invest in yourself now. You're worth it, and Rotary needs you too. You are one person who will become part of a much bigger educated community. For instance, some of the takeaways are, you're going to hear outstanding speakers. The president of the Rotary Action Group for Water and Sanitation will be speaking. And also, you get to meet the youngest DG we've ever had in North America. And Japstein, the past district governor, hold that there. The past, we're looking over here right now. The past DG of South Africa is going to talk to us about what he's doing about hunger in Africa. We have the Rotary Action Peace Building Group we're going to find more about. And also, it's very exciting, the Rotary Community Corps is one idea that's ready to go, and our club should be very interested in that. Also, branding and social media, there's always something new to learn there, and that's something that we can take beyond Rotary. The membership ideas, of course, we're always, something new is always coming up there. And as far as international projects, that is what really heartens all of us as Rotarians and makes us feel excited and proud of what we do. Grants and planning, that's where everything starts and comes from. The youth exchange is incredible. These kids they add an international flavor to the whole conference that is exhilarating. The four-way speech contest winners will speak. And then the friendship exchange, we will talk to the people from England at the next conference. You know, jolly old and chaps and ta-ta, and a spot of tea and everything.
Boom! Bang! Boom!
And then, maybe next time we don't want him with that part. The Craig Thatcher band will be there. Boom! And Rotary's Got Talent. And the nice thing about this is that at the door, it's open to the public. At the door, there will be food collection. And everybody will bring a canned food, and this canned food supply will go to all of the food banks in the district. And then, on top of that, the money that's collected, the proceeds from that go to will be distributed to the clubs for hunger-related projects. The more people who attend, the more money we have. Now, what do you think of that?
I say, why not?
Thank you. Now, we'd like to see all of you at the conference next year, 2019, at the Renaissance downtown in Allentown. And what are we going to say? Why not? And don't anybody ask us why.
How about the date?
Thank you.
What's the date, Sue?
Yes.
The date.
Oh, May, put it in your calendars right now. May 3, 4, and 5, 2019. The Renaissance is a super place.
Okay, thank you to everyone participating. The Emmaus Rotary Club players. Actually, can you tell this is our first live performance of this?
Not ready for prime time.
So let me explain what we're doing, what we did here this morning. This will be presented at this year's district conference on Saturday to get people excited about next year's conference. And that's why we did it today, JP. We needed practice. But actually, I think the campier the better in some ways. I'm not sure. But
We can always use a Santa Claus, too.
Sounds like JP volunteering.
I think so. But I'd like to just take a couple of minutes and ask for your candid feedback. Steve,
Can I do the boom bang thing on Saturday?
you're more than welcome. I got space in my car.
You have to go to the conference.
Anyone else?
Good.
No comment is out of bounds. So
It gets to everybody's attention.
okay. Hopefully it does communicate what the conference is going to be about. Hopefully in a playful way. And, so anyway, thank you for putting up with us this morning. It went really well. Alexa.
I have feedback. Involving a lot of people helps all those people know it, too.
Absolutely. Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, thank you again. With that, I will introduce Tony Moyer, who will introduce our speakers for today's program. Let me just ask, do you guys want the handheld mic, or would you like the one that goes around the hands-free mic? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bert. Our two Rotary Speech Contest participants are here this morning. We're certainly thankful that they participated. It's a lot of work, and they're very talented. Two of our Emmaus High School Interact students who are here this morning. We have Brendan Addix and Max Hafner. So if you would give them a warm welcome, and let's go over to sit there. We're going to begin with Brandon this morning.
Thank you. At 2:19 is dismissal time in Parkland, Florida. 900 teenagers are about to leave their classrooms just like any other day. Then they hear thundering booms of shooting outside. The students rush into lockdown mode, hide under desks, cram into closets, try to find any cover possible. The shooter comes into the building, proceeds to spray bullets into 4 classrooms on the first floor. One teacher tries heroically to lock the door when he is fatally wounded. Lifeless bodies lie everywhere while students panic. The shooter moves upstairs and sprays his endless supply of bullets into the hallway. More children are lost to this horrible tragedy. This is the story of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School just a few weeks ago. This event was immediately politicized, and the fabric of our country has yet again been ripped thread by thread. Hello, Rotary Club. My name is Brennan Addix, and I am a junior at Emmaus High School. I'm here to discuss the interlocking relationships between school safety, guns, and mental health following the recent events at Parkland, Florida, and to take steps in solving this growing epidemic. Now, this is anything but a simple situation. With Virginia Tech, Sandy Hook, Orlando Pulse nightclub, Las Vegas, and Parkland fresh in mind, the Los liberals immediately jumped to gun ban, confiscation, and create stricter laws, while conservatives try to hold on for dear life for the status quo. These quick default reactions are the problem, failing to recognize the complexity of the issue. Both sides need to give a little to solve this hysteria. Measures to protect schools, minor restrictions on weapons for incompetent people, fixing law enforcement, and restoring mental health will make schools safe once again. First of all, law enforcement needs to do its job to ensure schools in this country are safe. Local officials have received over 45 calls from neighbors and fellow students since 2010 about the Florida shooter, Nicholas Cruz, acting violent and erratic. Cruz was not even allowed to carry a backpack into school and eventually suspended from his high school for violent behavior. Cruz was reported to the FBI after writing online that he wanted to become a professional school shooter. This man had more flags than the Bolshevik Revolution. Sadly, the FBI and local law enforcement missed all these warning signs and failed to pursue measures to prevent this tragedy. Imagine, if the FBI or local law enforcement would have followed through on just one of these warning signs, we wouldn't have 17 dead children. In addition to all of that, it was revealed that the student resource officer at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas and 3 additional deputies decided not to go into the school during the shooting and waited outside. And just a few weeks later, Fox reported that the officers were following orders from their superiors, breaking the standard protocol of confronting the shooter and saving as many lives as possible. This is yet another example of the failure of law enforcement during this sad time. All these failures destroy America's confidence with the law enforcement where Americans need them the most. This next proposal is where politicians need to compromise. There's a trend between mass murders. Every single one of the shooters, from Virginia Tech to Parkland, had similar types of a severe mental disease. These monsters needed treatment and failed to get that from their doctors and their schools as children. If society was protected by just one of these shooters, countless lives would be saved. That is why I propose that doctors should be required to file a report if they suspect that they have a patient with an unstable mental state. Patients would be required to go through therapy and would be put on a government shortlist of people not able to buy weapons until they have successfully completed a treatment program. Programs like these would gain an amazing support from the American people to potentially save lives while improving the lives of the mentally disturbed. People with mental disorders need treatment and definitely not weapons. This would be a fantastic step towards a better overall mental health of the country. However, many people have tried to bring forward measures for broad bans and confiscations on guns for all, which has been proven not to work. Chicago, a city with very strict gun laws run by liberals for decades, is one of the highest homicide rates in the country, 650 murders last year alone. That's about a Parkland, Florida shooting every week and a half. According to the Crime Prevention Research Center, after bans on handguns in cities like Chicago, Washington, D.C., Britain, and Ireland, homicide rates dramatically increased over time. France, who also has strict gun control laws, has had 532 mass shootings in 2015, 5 more than the amount of mass shootings in the U.S. during the entire Obama presidency. Broad restrictions on guns actually seem to encourage more violence. This is simply because criminals do not care about gun laws. These laws just take away firearms from good people that are no longer able to protect themselves. That is why we need to specify who can get these weapons and stop pointing to ineffective general solutions. Lastly, I propose that there are many things we as a school can do to protect ourselves much better. At the beginning and end of school days, there's virtually no one that can stop an intruder from entering the building with all the activity going on in the morning. Anyone is free to move in and out of the building, and with gun-free zones, schools are even softer targets than ever. Shooters will be even more encouraged knowing that nobody will fire back. We need trained and armed security guards, preferably military veterans, at every corner of the school. Security is used to protect banks, politicians, and celebrities, so why not children? Also, there are no physical restrictions to prevent a student from bringing in a firearm into school. Metal detectors and scanners should be required to enter school just like they do in the major cities. ID scanners would also help to ensure prevention. I'm sure parents and neighbors would be more than happy to pay to protect their children. We also need to allow teachers to keep firearms on them if they so choose. 3 heroic teachers were defending their students as a human shield as they passed on in Parkland, Florida. Imagine if they were able to use a gun instead of their own bodies. Easy yet effective security measures like these would positively impact safety at all schools. All in all, the protection of children and teens at schools should be one of our highest priorities. It is true that children are being murdered. It is fair that all children should feel safe in pursuing an education. Standing up against violence in a way that will make change will create a stronger community, and obviously everyone can benefit from a safer community. Through strong law enforcement, treatments for people with mental health disorders, and strong security measures at schools, children will feel safe going to school again, and our community stronger. Children and teens are the future of this country, and our vows to keep them safe do not only protect their lives, but our collective future. Thank you for your time.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Humanity has done some great things throughout the ages. We've built civilizations such as Greece and Rome. We've pondered great questions such as what happens after death, and we've eradicated diseases like polio. However, we as a species are still capable of extraordinary cruelty, even to those who cannot defend themselves. Humans regularly abuse animals, a crime that is all the more heinous because of its victim. This victim cannot call 911, or even in most cases, adequately defend itself. I've always been against animal abuse, but more in a general way than anything else, the same way I'm against nuclear weapons. I'm against it, but I'm not particularly invested in it. Then my family got a cat. His name's Oliver, he's 6 pounds, and he's a great addition to the family. Now let's look at the last word in that sentence, family. Now that I have an animal as a member of my family, the thought of someone harming him, or someone like him, or something like him, is all the more heinous. It's now even more awful. This is why I've realized that animals need enhanced protections from the worst among us through incentivizing the reporting of these awful crimes and increasing the punishment for those who do. Before I get into those ideas, let's get to the reason we're all here today. 4-way test. This is a Rotary speech after all, and you must be wondering how, while being anti-animal abuse, while certainly a noble cause, fits into the 4-way test. First, let me remind you of the tenets. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And is it beneficial to all concerned? Is animal abuse the truth? That's an odd question, so let me rephrase it. Does animal abuse happen? Obviously, yes. If it didn't, I would be much happier, and I wouldn't be up here talking about it. However, it does. A surprising truth, however, is that many people who go on to commit murders and abuse of other humans often abuse animals first. Ted Bundy, Son of Sam, and Nicholas Cruz, the Parkland shooter. That's a combined kill count between 3 men of 53. And there were warning signs. They abused animals as children. If we could catch these people and treat them or imprison them as necessary when they're young, we could save the lives of many, many people who are unconnected in every way. So we would not just be saving animals, we'd be saving people as well. Is it fair? Animal abuse is inherently unfair. It's the stronger, smarter, faster creature harming the smaller, weaker, slower one. There's a reason that I'm giving a speech in an air-conditioned building, enclosed in a language that we all understand. It's because we won. We're the dominant species on this planet, and everything else and everything else didn't. So it's incredibly cruel for the species that won, the species that rules the planet, to harm those that can't defend themselves. It's not fair in any sense of the word. To protect these animals, and to adhere to we need to protect these animals and adhere to the basic law of decency. Not just human decency, but decency across all species. To have the strong protect the weak, and have the loud speak out for the voiceless. Will this build goodwill and better friendships? Well, let me go back to the reason I'm talking about this in the first place. My cat, Oliver. I like him, and I certainly hope he likes me. It seems that way. It's not the sort of friendship that I have with my fellow speaker per se, but it's still a sort of friendship nonetheless. And if I were to abuse my good friend Brendan over there, that would not be friendship. The same truth applies to animals. These animals just want to love and be loved in return. And because of this, that's what we should do. We shouldn't allow the worst people among us to remove that and create a cycle of hatred in these animals. Is this beneficial? If anyone were to tell me that animal abuse is beneficial, I would back off in horror and immediately recommend psychological help. Animal abuse is not beneficial in any way, and I don't think much more needs to be said about that. So back to the ideas that would help stop this. Well, let's start with incentivizing these reporting of these crimes. Let's say the police were offered some paltry sum of money, $1,000. Not much with the amount of money that they get. And for every tip that leads to the arrest and subsequent conviction of an animal abuser, they get $1,000. Well, how will this work? Well, for anyone who gets up in the morning at an hour that they don't want, money is obviously a factor. Money will make you do things that they normally wouldn't really want to do. So now there'll be more reporting of these crimes. So more people will go to jail and they will get punished for this. But there's a positive externality to this as well. Because the likelihood of being caught will now go up, less people will do it in the first place. So that's a relatively minor change. It brings in these beasts in human form for justice at a paltry cost of $1,000 per animal, which I know I would most definitely pay to help save an animal. Now I've established how to bring more people, and I use people in the loosest sense of the word, to justice. That justice should be more severe. There should be mandatory jail time, as there would be if I were to assault, torture, or murder any human in this room. And then I didn't think that was enough. I think there needs to be a way to protect these animals even after the people get out of jail. So I thought what the program for sex offenders is very good. Have a registry online with everyone's name, address, and specific crime. So that way you would know where these people live, so you could keep your animals away from them. And along those same lines, those people would have to, whenever they moved, go up to them and say, hello, my name is X, I live at Y place, and I committed Z crime. Now, there's now a social ostracism for anyone who commits these crimes, which could be drastically more effective than jail time anyway, because we're social creatures. A lot of us gather here today because we want to be with other people. And if we make those social connections harder to acquire, this would be much more effective in preventing, because not only more people will be reported, more people will stop because of the enhanced reporting. There will be increased punishment, and that now everyone will know that you're a bad person who kicked your dog to death. So, let me conclude. Animal abuse is the truth, but I hope that it won't be anymore. It's not fair. We need to stop it and ensure that there's not necessarily parity between us, because I like being the dominant species, I like having pets, but make sure that they have comfortable lives, that they do not get hurt by us. Goodwill. I love my pet. I want that to stay that way. I want more people to love their pets, and I want the pets to love them in return. And finally, animal abuse is in no way beneficial. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Max, for sharing your speeches with us. Can we give them another hand, please? Okay, folks, don't forget next week we'll have the Swedish folks here. Let's have a great turnout for that. I'm sure you all will appreciate hearing their presentation. So in honor of this being four-way test speech day, let's all rise and recite the four-way test. Of all the things we think, say, or do,
is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Have a great day.